You're listening to the Wreck It Podcast, Episode 1.
Hello, and this is our very first podcast, which is kind of weird actually, because I think that, if this becomes like really big in the future, I think that people will be coming back and checking out our very first podcast. So, hello people to the future. But this is our very first podcast, and basically we just wanted to do this podcast because we thought it would be a really cool idea to kind of give you guys some insight as to what's going on around kind of when we're filming, and to kind of show you guys, even just talk about some of the things that we get up to when we're filming, or just around the channel. And if you guys have any ideas or any input and you want to ask us, then feel free to submit your ideas. So let's kick things off really, really quickly. So ideally, the podcast, we were looking around 30 minutes to kind of start things off. And then after that, I guess as it becomes bigger and we have more to talk about, we can kind of extend it there. So let's start with the very first, an obvious question that we want to talk about today, which is what is Wreck It? So what is the channel Wreck It that we have? So,
well, I'd say Wreck It's a way of life, really.
It is a way of life, isn't it?
It's go out there and wreck people's lives. Not really. We just like to do some fairly harmless, practical joking.
That's kind of the public, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that the point that I think we got to with this was that we spent so long trolling each other that we thought, well, why not just troll other people instead? Because it just,
and each other.
We still troll each other. Yeah, we definitely still troll each other.
With the tasks, really.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I kind of feel that when we, and this is kind of actually something that I wanted to bring up today, is that not everything that we film or everything that we do actually works the first time round. Like we sit sometimes, how long do we sit doing a challenge or something like that until we get a good piece of footage that we can use?
Like 10 years, 20? A couple of weeks.
Yeah. Actually, for example, how long did the Keep 'Em Shaking one, how long did we do that for?
I think that was easily over, more than 2 weeks even.
I think it was over a month.
3 or 4. Yeah, a month.
That actually went quite well.
That was actually quite quick.
Yeah, we were lucky with that one.
Well, hold up, because Samuel took fucking forever to do his take. Like, me and Jake were literally, how long did we take for Samuel to get his...
That was a good 2.
That was 2 weeks to get footage for Samuel. But then, and even your one we did in a day.
Yeah, and your one was in 2 minutes.
Me and Nathan did ours. Well, Nathan was about...
That was my second.
Second attempt, okay,
Second
fair enough, okay.
Yeah.
And mine was 2 minutes?
Yeah, literally 2 minutes. You just went, look, I'm just going to go and shake someone's hand.
And then 2 minutes, and then,
Yeah.
So I remember that was one of the first things I recorded for myself. My confidence was so bad. And after that, now I can just do anything.
That's pretty much how I feel.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, that was quite funny because we were recording you and we thought we got... Actually, when you did your first shake, when you did the very first attempt, we thought we got really good footage, only to find out, I was like, Samuel, did you put the microphone on? Fuck! So,
is it surprising?
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. But what was even more surprising, or less surprising, should I say, is that he then did the attempt again and forgot to put his microphone on.
Well, the second time?
Yeah.
Twice.
So twice he forgot to put his microphone on, so I was like...
And you got free chocolate one of those times at least, right?
It was a guy giving out samples outside a chocolate store. And I had to get the longest handshake with this guy. And I was there for easily, 30 plus seconds, shaking this guy's hand, getting free chocolate. Literally the best footage I got. And then straight after, Jamie's like, oh, so you recorded it, yeah? And I'm just like, shit.
But we all know that if that was going to happen, it would be Samuel.
Of course.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I got free chocolate. So
but you just unnecessarily shook his hand for how long it was? 30, 40 seconds.
It was a good time, yeah.
So would Samuel have not got last in the challenge?
That's a very good question.
Footage?
I would have
I think
to.
he would have come second.
I think
I was
Jamie
30 seconds. You were mid-20s, I think.
Jamie would have won with Colin.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Colin.
Yeah. Colin is such a bro. He's featured on your video as well because he was your Tummy is Cute EXO, and he was also
he was very cute.
Fair enough. Yeah, he was, and also it was just the perfect timing. He just came along, and I thought, it's him. It's Colin.
He was just like, look, I'm going to just go and shake someone's hand for 2 minutes, and then you did that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, perfect. Well, so in terms of what is the podcast, so let's talk about what the podcast is and what we kind of want to gain from the podcast. So this is just something something additional, because filming can take quite a long time to do. So as we sort of mentioned, when we are out filming in public and stuff like that, there are a lot of factors that we have to take into consideration. So
And also, like, coming up with ideas, kind of, it eases the pressure a bit. It's
Exactly.
like coming up with unique content every week can be quite difficult. Whereas this is just something we can put out, every week or two, give you updates on how we're all doing, and just kind of show our personalities a bit more.
Yeah. I feel like with the videos, people get to know us a bit, but not a lot.
Mhm.
And
I
this
agree.
is,
Well, often we're
Us.
doing characters as well.
yeah.
But I think that there are so many factors that happen or occur when we are recording. For example, the weather is a big factor. So the time of the year is a big factor, because naturally, if it's like Christmas or something like that, if it's raining, for example, people are more like miserable, so they don't want to stop for us.
Even which day of the week.
Which day of the week is a big factor.
Yeah.
Thursday seems to be our good day. Saturday we went out and it was like crazy busy, and
Especially in Brighton as well.
Yeah.
Like a tourist place on a weekend.
So those are some factors. Also, again, as Samuel was saying, picking up ideas are also a big factor. But so this is really something to put in the middle and to kind of give you some insight as to what's kind of going on in terms of what we're doing, what we're filming. Let's kind of move on to how the channel came about. How did we come about this channel, this idea? Because there are a lot of different interpretations of doing this kind of stuff. I feel like we found something unique, but how did we kind of come up with this concept, should we say?
I think the type of people we are, it's always been on the cards for us.
It's kind of something we've done. I think we kind of touched on this earlier. It's just something like a big part of our personalities anyway.
Yeah.
And the only difference is we're kind of just recording it and doing it to strangers in public. Before, it would just be to each other.
How long? I think maybe, as you said, it was always in our personalities. We were always trolling people, whether it being online or whether it being in public or to each other or whatever. And so in the end, I feel like, I remember when we were in San Francisco in 2016.
So what, like
2 years ago?
Yeah, coming up
Nearly
to 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and I remember that was the first time that we really started to touch base on this idea of something that we really wanted to do. And like at the time, it was just me, Nathan, and Samuel, and we couldn't work out like a good balance, I think, or a good way in which we could kind of make this work. And we had who was now our narrator, Jessin. And we said for ages, like, I think, well, you were on a different plane ride back to England at the time.
That's right.
And I think you said to me, you spent the whole journey like nagging him, like, will you do it?
I completely forgot about this. It was like, what, a 9 or 10 hour flight?
Yeah, we were just nagging him the whole
We
time.
had like 2 hours sleep overnight.
We didn't get any closer.
No. I was convinced that we would change his mind. I think with Bin, we knew straight away.
Yeah.
Jess, and it was like a 10% chance we might be able to do it.
Yeah.
And me and Sammy, I think we were probably on either side of him on the plane
Right.
home. We're like taking it in turns.
Yeah, and the thing is, actually, the very first time we did the pilot, it was just us three.
It was.
It was just us three, and we were out. And that was the first time that I think we really realised that this could work, was that when we actually got footage and made it into a video, that we realised that this pilot could work. And
we were just laughing as we were recording it.
Yeah.
So like we were just thinking, well, the audience is going to love this.
Yeah.
So why not put it out there?
When
And
you introduced the idea to me, I thought you were trolling me.
which is fair enough, to be honest. Until you saw the
I
pilot.
saw footage, and then I was like, this could still be a troll. Just
Yeah.
an elaborate one, but it's not like you guys are beyond that. You would take a few weeks to make some minutes of video just to troll. Well, that's what we do.
So you
It
thought
sounds
that
like something we would do.
Yeah.
you
That's
thought that we were
exactly
getting
what-
actors in to troll you to go out in public to ask people.
I was slightly hoping. I was hoping it was like, oh man, that'd be a sick practical joke.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that's what you were doing.
And I think it was kind of during that first pilot that we realised not only is this idea good, but we need someone else. Kind of having three of us is good, but a fourth person just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You know, say we need to meet up and record. We say need 2 camera people, 1 or 2 people in the video, and it's not always easy for all of us to be able to meet up on like a certain day.
Yeah, especially Nathan.
I always thought the 4 was the number that I wanted.
Yeah.
It's like the
4.
perfect number.
4's a good number.
Yeah, and the thing is, when I the thing is, you were Jake. You were always outside of our circle group. Like you were always really good friends with us, but you're always outside
I
our
hate
circle
all of
group.
you.
Why? No.
You're good boys.
But the thing is, like, when we didn't realize that you were down here permanently, so then when the thought came into our minds, like you were here and that you were staying here was like, let's ask Jake, like, would you do it? And then we were just saying that was just the perfect fit because we needed someone who to push the boundaries. And the thing is, I don't think I could have walked up to people and asked if they were Papa Smurf 69 or
I want to do it for a living.
or your scrotum is or whatever it was.
Just your confidence on this select day is like unbeatable.
Yeah.
Like you set the bar
Scrotum
so high
cutie.
for all of us.
That was
Scrotum.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Seaman Steve or whatever.
Yeah, although the first couple of goes, I was very nervous and I was like, wow, this is really weird. And then I just sort of just did it and then got really into it.
The first scene we ever shot was, I feel like, what was the first scene we ever shot?
Like
Was
that actually got put up on the channel,
It was-
or just recording in
that
general.
put on the channel, and the one that we thought would actually make a good video was, I think, the lady at the pavilion.
Oh,
Do you
that
remember
was
when I tried to starfish on the floor? Yeah,
I have no
So-
idea how you managed that.
She
I-
did
I-
as well, though.
Yeah, she got to the floor, and the thing is that the task wasn't to get her to the floor. It was to lay on the floor and starfish while she's talking to me. But then when I got to that point, I was like, well, this is kind of boring. So I was like, well, let's get you to the floor too. So, and she did it, which was really surprising. And that was the moment, I think, that we kind of thought, okay, this could work. So, but yeah,
You have to find a mark.
exactly.
And then that's Colin, for example.
Sometimes it'll take like 10 people, no reactions whatsoever. Then you just get that one golden person,
Yeah.
the golden ticket, and you're like, "This is going on the channel.
Exactly.
This is the shot."
So, well, this is a bit of an insight as to what we're recording now, but in terms of what the most recent sketch, we won't go into detail, but it's such a gimmick that I think that people are seeing through the gimmick, but it took that one person,
One gullible person.
one gullible person.
Sorry if you're hearing this.
Or one
it's that guy.
person who
Shout outs.
maybe sort of realised it was a joke but wanted to be in on it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, no, probably just gullible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, that one guy that came along and just completely didn't see through the fact that you are in a complete gimmick costume, and that's all it takes is one person. Because the reality is that we don't go out and film something and then put it straight to the channel. It just takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of sort of hype. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of that goes into making the videos. So.
Putting the best content out there. So we're like really strict with kind of getting
What-
a good reaction.
Exactly, yeah, and because if there's no reaction, there's no video. So,
Exactly.
But yeah, very good. So, inspirations behind what the channel that we're doing. Inspirations
Money.
behind. Well,
In
yeah.
the future, maybe.
Well, the thing is, the reception has been pretty good. I feel the reception for it's like in the past we've had like very niche channels and like so we've done very sort of niche things in the past and it targets a very specific audience, should I say? But this has been very receptive, I think, in terms of a lot of the people that have watched it, just because it's like anyone can relate to it. You know, anyone can kind of just watch a video and relate to it. It does make me laugh though, like when we get dislikes on your, like for example, your video, you got one.
I cried so much.
The first dislike that we got on your video made me laugh because it was like someone doesn't appreciate Papa Smurf 69 or,
I'm still crying.
but yeah,
I
but
bet you it was my mum. I'm joking. My mum found it funny, which is,
and that's the
that's
weird.
something.
That's the weird thing, family as well. Like, and my family, like my mum especially, was very like she found it quite funny.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect that. So
Kind of appeals to like all kinds of people.
It's a good sign.
Yeah,
Exactly.
My 81-year-old great aunt like had a good laugh. She was finding it quite funny that her great nephew was saying scrotum cutie and Papa Smurf 69 and what was the hairy bikeables.
yeah,
I'm trying to think which one she found funniest. I think it might have been hairy bikeables.
yeah. I think God, what was the? I think the Papa Smurf one just did me because it was the fact that you were down this dark, dingy alleyway. Waiting, and as soon as everyone walked past, you Papa Smurf
Hands in his
69.
pockets.
Exactly. You Papa Smurf 69. You Papa Smurf 69.
I had to look as shady as I possibly could, and I didn't have to do much.
That was the funniest one, I think, for me personally. So I think that one of our main inspirations, or for me personally, one of my main inspirations for this channel was Trigger Happy TV, which was Dom Jolly, who I think that came around when I was like 9 or 10 years old, which was the first main real TV show that kind of captivated me in terms of prank TV shows. So that was the first big one, I think. And even if you look at the pilot video, for example, if you watch the pilot video, that's actually in the style of Trigger Happy TV, because if you kind of look, you have the music sort of overlaying and things. And so that was one of the main inspirations, one of the big things, I think, that sort of managed to kind of draw us to where we are now. What are the other main inspirations, I think? Maybe Balls of Steel? Do you remember that TV show?
That's such a good show. Yeah, me and Samuel only saw it, a few years ago for the first time on YouTube?
Yeah.
But, so yes, they have different comedians, don't they?
Yeah.
And each comedian picks some kind of gimmick which they base their sketch around. And then it's trying to see who's the funniest.
Right.
So in terms of, like, off that show, which ones were our favourite?
So
Alex Zane.
Alex Zane was one of my favourites. Yeah. I liked Nedge's Urban Sports was another one, which I was really...
That's classic.
So that TV show was a big one in terms of things that influenced us, in terms of prank TV shows and setting up.
Yeah.
And obviously the last one is the Impractical Jokers.
Kind of the obvious one.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have... We've tried to think about implementing sort of, in terms of progressing the channel and things, and obviously new ideas kind of develop, and we've thought about hidden earpieces and things like that, which is something that we're still thinking about. But for the moment, we don't really need the earpieces. It can certainly... We've got so many ideas of things that we want to do. I'm not sure if we need them as such, but it's certainly something that, we'll sort of take into consideration. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they take the theme of having punishments, for example. We haven't gone down the route of punishments.
We will.
I think we could certainly work out
Nathan.
a platform. I think it could certainly be funny, and that's the thing. When you have a TV show like that, that's constantly doing it week in, week out, they've got lots of producers and lots of things, and we're kind of doing it off our own back. A lot of the ideas are taken, and it does take a while to really think of something that is kind of unique that hasn't already been done before.
Part of what I like about them, though, is half of it is that they're pranking each other, really.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of the tasks they have to do are to prank their friends. Like, you have to be blindfolded and say something to someone, like, and just not even know that who you're talking to. I'd love to do that to Nathan.
But the main thing really with that TV show is that they don't... It's... One thing that I've realized from watching it is that the final piece isn't the TV show. Well, obviously it is a TV show, but they don't go out there, film it, and then put the first thing on like we do. It takes a while to build it. And even the punishments that they do aren't always fair reflections of what's happened in the TV show. It's like everyone takes a turn to have a punishment, and you kind of just amount it in that way. So it's building a story, not so much in as opposed to letting things happen naturally, which I guess is normal. So, but yeah, let's go more in depth in terms of some other funny things that have happened whilst we've been recording. So, for example, some funny things that... Can you think of any funny things that have happened? Anything that immediately stands out? So that we were talking about you're not hitting the microphone when you're supposed to be recording.
Every time. I think the classic one that we all remember is, as we famously call him, Homeless Guy. Or Papa Smurf 69.
See, I missed out on this.
Yeah, you weren't there.
I feel like I really did, yeah.
Yeah, so... yeah, he targeted me of all people.
I can't think why.
Yeah, well... But the main thing is would you say that most people have been quite receptive? Mm-hmm. Yeah, most people find it funny. And they're just like, most people find it hilarious. They sort of laugh it off or something.
See the funny side to it.
Exactly. But there are some people who don't always react in a positive manner. So if you watch back, which one was it that we did?
My one, I think.
It was, yeah. So you're the anonymous hookup fail. So if you watch back that one, the guy at the end, who was the homeless guy, we call him Homeless Guy.
You'll know who he is.
Yeah, so he's the guy right at the end and I was at a distance saying to Jake, no, don't speak to him, no, don't speak to him. And Jake's like, you're not Papa Smurf 69, right, are you?
Definitely speaking to this guy.
So, and then in the end, he realised that we were filming, and we explained to him that, we're filming for something. Don't worry, we're not going to use you in the footage, we're not... And he was like, I want to see the camera. I was like, no, it's not. We're not going to use you. We'll give you access to our platform. You can check it out. Well, he's homeless. I don't know how we can have access to the internet, but whatever. You can check it out if you want to. And he really went for me, and he got his he got his hands and put his hands on me. And I just remember when he put his hands on me, Jake and Samuel just coming round doing a 3-on-1 on him, and then we just like pinned him up against the wall and said, "Look, dude, stop, because you're going to get hurt at this point." So
He
that
could
was-
barely stand up. So
he literally was like completely off it. So that's one of the, I don't know if that was a funny thing. It's funny looking back, but
it's not funny at the time.
it wasn't. No,
I was
but
just like, why is this? What's wrong with this guy?
I like how that when we did the when we went for the photography, we did the photo shoot to get some good images behind us, and he goes, "So you guys are comedians then?" Well, if you use the term loosely, I prefer trolls. So
Did you remember when we went to the photo shoot? And it's another funny story with us, but Jamie messaged us all in our group chat and he said, "Guys, we're going to a professional photo shoot. We need to look our best.
So we're
gonna
paying
use
lots
these
of money."
images." And me and Samia dug out our best clothes from our wardrobe.
Yeah.
Jamie made an effort as well, and then we kind of got there and we were waiting for Jake. We were like, "Is Jake? What's the nicest clothes Jake he might wear?"
We're thinking, tuxedo.
Yeah.
you have a tuxedo. I've seen your tuxedo.
I came in my damn boxers. No, I didn't.
You might as well.
It's got it was the gym shorts.
Which you last wore 15 years ago?
Oh
Year
no,
9?
I wear them like every day.
Right. Okay.
They're the most comfortable things. They're comfy and easy to wear.
Yes.
We gave you a blazer to try and make you look a bit more trendy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
It was just that all black clothing, black shoes, black socks, black shorts, black
The
shirt.
point you're wearing now.
I'm a black guy. That's all I can say really.
But the other funny thing is not funny for us, but it's funny looking back. So me and Nathan decided, and this was something that we do every morning now. So one thing that we've learned about this is that you make a lot of mistakes, and then you realise later that you
know where this is going.
don't repeat those mistakes. So you try and do everything to stop yourself making those mistakes again. So I picked up Nathan in the morning, and we go to our usual spot to park, and then we was like, okay, let's just message Jake to see if he's here.
I'm looking for him out the window. Jamie's about to message him.
And then we go on Messenger and it's active like 5-6 hours ago. And we're like, okay, this isn't a good sign.
I think it was active like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He just fell asleep, didn't he?
Yeah, so we were just like, sitting in the car like, holy shit, he's not going to come.
No,
And so,
I think you rung him, didn't you, straight after?
I think I woke up to like 5 missed calls.
yeah, and the thing is, we were sitting and then was like, and afterwards, me and Nathan were like, right, he's not coming. So we're just going to have to try and make the most of the day. So what we did was that day to try and make it productive is every time, one thing that I really like and something that's kind of unique about the videos is we put a bit of scenery before. It's kind of lame, but it's kind of nice because it gives you an image of like where we are. It kind of gives you some feeling of the city that we're kind of recording in. So we've got lots of different things of scenery. So you'll see like 4-second clips of scenery before every time we go into a video, like after before the intro, or after the intro, should I say? So we did loads of like scenery recording that day to try and make it something worthwhile. But so yeah, I just feel that it's kind of a nice touch to a lot of our videos is that we just have scenery in the video, so you can kind of just see a bit more of our town. And I guess we've actually spoken about going abroad and doing it in different places. So every time that we switch the scenery, you'll see like if it's a new city, a new country, or something like that. So certainly something that we
New
want to
people
sort
to prank.
Exactly, yeah. So we've got a lot of ideas in relation to that, something that we want to do. So, but yeah. So I guess really we're going to try and keep these podcasts up because I think they're really good fillers in terms of doing the videos, because the videos do take a long time to kind of edit, to get good footage and things like that. So we're going to try and keep up these podcasts. One thing that I thought would be quite a good thing to do, to kind of leave the podcast on a bit of a cliffhanger to try and, entice people to listen more to the next one, is to do like kind of give a story about our personal lives, and then we can determine, I've got a story in mind for today, and then you guys can think of one next time, but you guys have to determine whether this is true or false, this story. Okay. And I won't reveal it until the next podcast.
Okay. We can discuss it after.
You can discuss it as much as you want.
We're going to be discussing it for a good few weeks.
So here's my story. Okay, well, it's true or false. Okay. Right. So one time, only one time, I was almost
Good start.
I was almost in a porno.
Can you give us more context?
Or is it best left?
It's best left.
Almost.
I was almost in a porn
Almost.
video.
Almost.
And I can tell you it's one that got published online. I checked it for research purposes. So
Oh, right. Okay, we see how it is.
Okay.
so yeah, it definitely got published online. It's it's out there.
Was it Lesbian Spank Inferno 3? Because in my opinion, that's where they really picked up. 1 and 2, average.
I don't know the name of the thing, but I know how to find it. So
Can you give us context for
No.
the story?
I can't
We're
tell
not
you.
allowed
I
context.
can't tell you the context because if I give you context, I might give it.
It's easier to know whether it's true or false.
Yeah.
That's
So
as well.
right, okay. So what would you guys?
I'm gonna go on true in the back of my head for now, but I'm gonna have to think about this one for a while.
Okay, for me, brain says it's false. Heart says it's true.
But
Like my gut feeling is that it might be.
So
what
It
about
would be like some weird Spanish one.
okay.
I'm gonna go false just because of the lack of context.
Wait,
Carlos?
See,
Come to
see.
me.
Wait. So Samuel's going for false.
Yeah.
Jake.
I think I'm going for true.
True. Nathan?
This is difficult. I feel.
Knowing Jamie's personality, like how spontaneous you are.
I think it might be false for the reason that he said almost. I think he was actually in one.
Yeah.
So you think it's true? I was in one.
Yeah.
So, but I'll go with true. I'll go with true in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Wait. I'm still thinking.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So
I'm
you've gone with true, right? Samuel's going
I'm going
false.
with true.
gonna go with my gut feeling over what my brain's telling me. So I'm gonna go for true.
Okay.
Well,
True.
that's
True.
what
False.
Jamie would do as well.
But it's the fact he says almost. So by almost, was it you signed the contract or were about to, and then the terms weren't right?
He's not giving
Was
us.
it?
I
No.
can't give detail.
Okay.
I just have to tell you that's what happened. I was almost in one.
Okay.
Well, we'll get
So
to
we're
judge.
talking like a professionally made one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Not like your own phone in the bedroom kind of thing.
No.
'cause We've all done that.
It's not like record, put it on Pornhub, try and get some cash. No.
Yeah.
I've only ever uploaded one video to Pornhub before.
I mean, that's one more than me. I've only ever uploaded one, guys.
And that was a video which I purposely put. It was the Liverpool game against Manchester City when
yeah,
Manchester
yeah.
City beat Liverpool like 5-0 or something. And I posted it online like boys in red get like
Yeah.
or something. And I sent it to Nathan. And I was like, I uploaded a video on Pornhub. So, but yeah, so that's for you guys to work out and to kind of guess. And then we'll pick it up next time. So
Does that count as free advertising for Pornhub? So we're gonna get, like
We
when
should
you
get
advertise
revenue for that.
McDonald's and they send you like a bunch of straws.
we should
Are we gonna be sent like
strap-ons and stuff.
hopefully?
Yeah. Well, what would I do with that?
Well,
What am I gonna?
props.
Oh, okay. Oh yes. Really good point. Yeah, we
Yep.
can use props.
Wear one in public all
Hold
the time.
up. So one idea that we had was also the suitcase. The suitcase one, where basically you have a suitcase and you have loads of props inside the suitcase, and then you have to just release your suitcase and everything falls out, and you have to convince a stranger that like it's normal or something like that. We didn't realize what the goal was, but if we got loads of props from Pornhub,
Oh yeah.
we can literally stack that suitcase full of like.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff we want, and I assume that it would be me doing this.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll be up for that.
Yeah. Just we'll put loads of random stuff in there. Just from dildos and strap-ons and what to cat litter to I don't know. Yeah.
Like it's like the supermarket game.
Yeah, but
Buy
the-
3 things that.
The funny thing with a cat litter is you wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Oh yeah. Once it's gone, it's gone.
You'd just be like sort of getting cup hands or like yeah.
spend like 10 minutes just trying to scoop it back in.
You might leave a
As
trail
if-
behind you.
Yeah,
of
as
like,
if it's like the most important thing in the world.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I really need this cat litter with my dildos.
But yeah, you might leave a trail behind you. It might be like TNT or something like that.
Someone behind the light.
Yeah, with a lighter, yeah. All right, cool. So we'll leave it at that. So basically, the next time we pick up the podcast, we'll start on that, and I'll let you guys know whether that is true or false. So if you want to put forward any questions for the next podcast to ask us, you can just do that by putting it in the comment section on YouTube. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook, as well as also on Twitter. We have our Twitter there, which we are currently building up at the moment. But yeah, so put forward any questions that you have for the podcast, and we'll kind of pick it up from next time. So yeah. So thank you guys for listening to the podcast, and yeah, don't forget to wreck that subscribe button.
Don't forget, you can check out the Wreck It YouTube channel, as well as the Facebook and Twitter pages for more updates and content.